Ready.
Hello, Allison. Did you want to start with
Yep.
something?
So before we start, I just want to make a friendly reminder to make sure we're using we statements, and make sure we're using I statements instead of we statements when sharing our thoughts and our concerns, any comments moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you. There wasn't really a group leader for this week, so I just figured I'd take over and get things started, if that's what works for everybody. The other group shared their document, and it's the same document. As far as I can tell, it looks like everybody will need to come in, and it looks like, first of all, that we will need to do a written part of the feedback with a summary, and then also detailed feedback, which is embedded. My thoughts, and totally open, were that I uploaded the document here, and then I was thinking each one of us could go in and put in maybe one positive thing and one thing that maybe needed to be improved on the document itself, and go in and do that. And then even if it's just saying, hey, I agree with what William said about that they needed more details about whatever, if that's what you wanted to put in there, just that everybody sort of has a say in there. And then, of course, if there's any minor details like, hey, they needed a comment or they misspelled something, we can put that in there. And I've actually got some time this weekend, so if it worked, if everybody could do that, then I could write up the summary, and the detailed feedback I could sort of put into a condensed version and have that in she seems to want it into like a Word document with the tracking changes and all that stuff. I'd be willing to do the A part of this weekend and send it to them because they want it back in a fairly short amount of time. If 2 or 3 other people would be willing to actually do the video portion and go and talk to them, like for that part of it. Is anybody willing to do that? Is that I just have my son's having his wisdom tooth removed and some other stuff this week, so I'm a little busy. But if somebody wants to do the written part and I can try to make time for the video part, I can do that too. I'm totally open.
I could be one of the people that go. So that's just, we are meeting with them, because I was kind of confused if we're meeting with them, right? It's not a video that we send them.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think it's just them, like making sure that you check in with them and make sure that they're, hearing you, and like if they have questions, being able to give them feedback on their questions and that kind of stuff.
Sure. And I can reach out to them to schedule the time as well.
Yeah. And if you don't want to just like be a sounding board by yourself, Allison, I'm happy to like try to coordinate that with you as well, just to back up.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think they're supposed to be 2 on each side. I don't know why, but I think that's what she wanted for this assignment.
Are we expected to, sorry to cut you off, Michelle.
No, go ahead.
Are we supposed to record that and submit that conversation?
Yeah, here it says only 2 members of each group will deliver the video feedback, and then they will give you feedback. It'll be recorded. So I think the only part that we need to turn in is the actual giving them feedback of how we do it. So I'm a little confused on, because it gives you the description of the opening and all this other stuff that you need to do, and then we have the timing. So we're supposed to get them the written feedback in 4 days, and then coordinate the video feedback. but I don't understand here at the end where it says you need to decide if you want to accept the feedback you receive. So I downloaded the rubric, and it doesn't actually say anything about turning in the assignment itself, like the corrected version. It just has it about the feedback, the written feedback, and the video. So I didn't quite understand that.
So, right, are we submitting what they send us with our assignment, or are we changing the assignment based on their feedback and then submitting that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it just says you'll decide if you want to accept the feedback you receive.
I could
So-
email the professor too to
Yeah.
clarify.
I can do that. I don't mind doing that. Or if somebody wants to do it, because
Okay.
the rubric actually doesn't say anything. It's just the written summary, the detailed version that we embed, the verbal feedback that we give, and then the timeline that we actually did it within the timeline, and then cultural sensitivity, and then the proper naming. So I don't know where the actual, maybe we turn that in with, I don't know. So that would be a good thing to clarify. Do we turn in the assignment, or do we just say we accepted the feedback? I don't know. So
That is really unclear. I'm having a hard time. Like, so what do we do with the information? Like, are we supposed to rate their feed? You know what I mean?
yeah, like, yeah, that was a good idea. Anyway,
Right.
like, does she want to see the product of that as far as what we do with it? Or is she just more concerned with how we give each other the feedback?
So I have a question about that too, which might be something that we have to ask her. If we don't videotape it and we don't choose to take their feedback, how would the professors know that we even did it?
Well, we do have to record it of giving, like, say we go and look at their document and we say, hey, we found, these errors. We would like more information on this subject, whatever. We have to record us talking to them about it.
Okay, that
So
makes a
that-
little bit more sense.
Right. Whether they follow what we say or vice versa, they're going to give us the feedback on our document and record it. Like, that part is part of the assignment, but do we have to do anything with that feedback is the question.
So we're recording like the meeting between IFCAS and Allison Go. Is that what we're talking about?
Right. Like,
Okay.
how do they present it? Like, do they say, oh, that sucks? Obviously they wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But
now it's starting to make a little
like,
bit.
how does it actually go? Like, obviously it'll all be prepared because we'll all go through the document
Right.
and talk about it, or at least put our comments on there, and I'll write a summary, and then they'll just go and meet with them and say, hey, you did a great job, and these are the things that we really liked about it, and these are the things that we felt like maybe needs more clarification.
Perfect.
We'll record that and send it in.
Okay.
But what we do, they're going to do the same thing to us. The question was, what do we do with that? Do we
Okay,
actually
that makes
change
a
our
little
document?
bit more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little bit distracted and then I was like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, now I'm real confused.
So does that seem like a good plan? Like, everybody go into the document that I've uploaded. I put in the original instructions so we can refer back to that to make sure that they've answered all the questions for the assignment. Like, if like, hey, you didn't answer this question, we could put that in there. Like, each person go in there and sort of put in what they see or don't see. And then I'll write up all that stuff and send that to them. I'll send it all to you. I'll put it up here so everybody can see it. And then if it's okay, then I'll send it to them. And then Allison and Cass can try to set up with them, their 2 people. And basically it'll be, you give them feedback, they give you feedback,
Right.
you record each side, and that's what then we just need to clarify what we need to do with that feedback. Does that seem cool?
That sounds pretty straightforward. Thank you. That
Cool.
was really
Very
helpful.
good. Thank you, Michelle.
I would say I went on to like the assignment on our page just to see if it said anything about like what you're supposed to do with it. And it does say you're only required to upload the feedback that you receive. So many people find it easier to share like a Google Doc also with like the other group, and they can put on there what their feedback is for us. It's under like the reminders on my phone on the little part. So I don't know if that helps at all with what we were talking about earlier with how like what we were sharing, how we were sharing. But it's just something she suggested.
So I wonder why she wants, like they put in this document, why she wants us to do it in Word. Like, like the initial stuff up here about the comment sections and all that.
Yeah.
The tracking changes. Because I guess that's a shared document too. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured it would, like, if we did it all on our own, like, base, that we could be honest, and then I could clean it up for feedback issues.
I think that's a great idea, truthfully. Like that way, if there is any sort of vocabulary that needs ironed out,
right?
Yeah,
I think that's safer.
Like between us, they're like, you could say, "What the hell are they saying here?"
Right.
Where,
and like I would like to be more sensitive.
Yes. But I'll send them like, this area was unclear, and could you please clarify this? Something like that.
Sounds great.
So does anybody want to email the professor? She's pretty used to hearing from me, I think, every week lately, so I can do it. It doesn't matter. She's really good about getting back to me.
Yeah, she is. Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, I can email her.
I think Michelle is frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's just really still.
Yeah.
She's really
I think she's on the West Coast, so that helps that she's okay. Nicole, thank you. That beats me. Are we back?
You're back.
It was weird too, because it literally went through, I think, everything that you said.
Yeah.
It was really fast. I'd never seen that before.
So what do I need to repeat then? Because everybody else froze up too. So like, I was like, are y'all there? So Nicole will email the professor and figure out what we actually need to turn in. Mm-hmm. So the timeline looks like that if everybody could comment on their document by, say, noon on Saturday. So just like 2 comments, good or bad, whatever. And then I will type that up and send that out to them by Sunday. That's the 4-day mark. Sunday night I'll send that to them. If Allison and Cass, you could get with them about setting up the video part. I think that should satisfy everything. Mm-hmm. Did I miss anything? Can y'all think of anything?
That's great.
And then, we'll decide if we need to meet next week all together, or if it can just be text or whatever we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay. All good?
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Does somebody want to send Mila, an update, like just to tell her, hey, go into the document and just give us feedback, like 2 things. Nicole, can you do that since she's in the middle of talking to me?
No, you're fine. I can do that. I was listening. Yeah, I can just send her a quick little update to let her know.
Yeah,
Document 1 or 2 comments by noon on Saturday, right?
Yeah, but since you're doing the communication part this time,
Yeah.
with the teacher and stuff.
Good.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Well, if everybody will do that by Saturday, I will by Sunday put that up and make sure if anybody wants to look at it and approve it, that works. And we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Okay.
And then I will, Cass, I'll text you, or unless, do people, mind if we text about planning the meeting in the regular group chat?
No.
Go for it.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Like talk about times or whatever, and then so that way you guys can know when we're meeting too.
That's great. Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank y'all. I'll see you next time then.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
take care, guys.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.